Do you sometimes catch yourself feeling a little limited? Perhaps you've noticed a slight stiffness when you get up in the morning. Or maybe you find yourself sighing at the thought of doing something you once loved. Because you figure, well, that's just how it is when you get older. Maybe you've heard comments, or even said them yourself. Like, I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Or, my body just isn't what it once was. It's a painful reality that many of us, especially those of us over 60, start to accept these little nudges, these quiet whispers that tell us we're slowing down, fading, becoming less capable. We begin to believe that certain declines are simply an unavoidable part of the journey, an expiration date on our vitality. But what if I told you that much of what you've been told, what you've come to believe about aging, is simply not true? What if those feelings of limitation are less about your actual age and more about deeply ingrained myths that have somehow become our collective truth? In this video, we're going to expose 6 powerful aging myths that are actively making you feel older than you are. Myths that are holding you back from truly thriving in your golden years. And we'll reveal the empowering truths that will set you free. Stick with me to the very end, because I promise you, there's something waiting for you that will truly surprise you and change the way you see your future. Let's dive right in and dismantle the first big myth that keeps far too many of us feeling less vibrant than we ought to be. The idea that aging automatically means a drastic and irreversible physical decline, a loss of strength, and an end to our active lives. We often hear things like, "My body just isn't built for that anymore," or "I have to slow down now." It's a pervasive belief that as the years add up, our muscles just naturally waste away, our bones become fragile, and our energy dwindles to almost nothing. We see images, or hear stories, that reinforce this idea of an inevitable march towards frailty, leading us to believe that our days of moving with ease, lifting grandchildren, or even just enjoying a brisk walk are numbered. This myth tells us to accept a sedentary life, to put our feet up, and to prepare for a body that steadily lets us down. It's a narrative that can be incredibly disheartening, painting a picture of decline rather than continued potential. But here's the empowering truth. While some changes do occur with age, significant physical decline is far from inevitable and is often more a result of inactivity than age itself. Our bodies, even as they age, possess an incredible capacity for adaptation and improvement, given the right stimulus. Think about it this way: if you keep a car parked in the garage year after year, it's going to seize up, rust, and eventually break down. But if you drive it regularly, keep it tuned up, and give it the right fuel, it will keep running smoothly for a very long time. Our bodies are much the same. The secret here isn't about becoming an Olympic athlete overnight, or hitting the gym for hours every day. It's about consistent, gentle, and intentional movement. It's about sending a clear message to your muscles, your bones, and your cardiovascular system that they are still needed, still valued, and still capable of growing stronger. One of the most powerful things you can do to combat this myth is to embrace regular strength training. Now, before you picture barbells and grunting at the gym, let's redefine what strength training looks like for us. It can be incredibly simple, done right in your living room. Think about using light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even just your own body weight. Things like chair squats, where you simply stand up and sit down from a sturdy chair repeatedly, are fantastic for building leg strength. Wall push-ups, where you push against a wall rather than the floor, can improve upper body strength. Lifting small weights, like cans of soup, can strengthen your arms and shoulders. The key is consistency, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes a few times a week. These gentle movements help maintain muscle mass, which is crucial for metabolism, balance, and overall strength. They also send signals to your bones to stay dense and strong, helping to prevent conditions like osteoporosis. It's about feeling capable enough to carry your groceries, open that jar, or play with your grandkids without strain. Beyond strength, remember the importance of flexibility and balance. Gentle stretching, like holding a stretch for 30 seconds, can improve your range of motion and reduce stiffness. Tai Chi or simple balance exercises, like standing on one leg while holding onto a counter, can drastically reduce your risk of falls, which are a major concern as we age. The beautiful part is that you don't need special equipment or a gym membership, just a commitment to moving your body in intentional ways every single day. Even walking more is a form of strengthening and cardiovascular exercise that combats this myth head on. Park a little further away. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, or simply take an extra loop around your block. Every step counts. The message we're sending to ourselves and to the world is that our bodies are not fading. They are adapting, strengthening, and evolving. This isn't about reversing time. It's about optimizing the time we have and making the most of our physical capabilities at every stage. We're not preparing for decline. We're investing in continued vitality. It's about building a body that supports the vibrant life you want to live, not one that restricts it. Now, moving on from the idea that our bodies are destined to fail us, let's tackle another insidious myth that strikes right at the heart of our mental agility and sense of self. This leads us directly to the second pervasive myth that causes so much unnecessary worry and self-doubt: the idea that cognitive decline, like memory loss and a reduced ability to learn new things, is an inevitable part of aging. How many times have you heard someone, or even yourself, say, "Oh, my memory's not what it used to be," after misplacing keys, or dismissing the idea of learning a new skill with, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks"? This myth tells us that as we get older, our brains shrink, our connections fray, and our minds become less sharp, less capable of complex thought or retaining new information. It paints a picture of a gradual, unavoidable slide into mental fog, making us feel resigned to a future where our quick wit and sharp recall become distant memories. This belief can be deeply unsettling, leading to anxiety about simple forgetfulness and discouraging us from engaging in mentally stimulating activities. But here's the astonishing and liberating truth: the human brain, even in our later years, possesses an incredible quality called neuroplasticity. This means your brain is not a fixed entity that simply degrades over time. It is a dynamic, adaptable organ that can continue to form new connections, learn new skills, and even improve its cognitive functions well into old age. The real secret to a sharp mind isn't about avoiding decline. It's about active engagement and providing your brain with the right kind of stimulation. Just like you would for your body, your brain thrives on novelty, challenge, and continuous learning. Think of your brain like a garden. If you stop tending to it, stop planting new seeds, stop watering, it will eventually become overgrown with weeds and cease to produce. But if you continually cultivate it, introduce new varieties, and nurture it, it will flourish year after year, yielding a rich harvest. The most powerful way to cultivate your mental garden is through consistent intellectual engagement. This doesn't mean you have to go back to university, though that's certainly an option for some. It means finding activities that genuinely challenge your mind in new ways. Have you ever considered learning a new language? Even just a few phrases a day. Language learning is an incredible brain booster because it engages multiple areas of your brain simultaneously: memory, problem solving, and auditory processing. Or perhaps picking up a musical instrument. Even learning simple chords on a guitar or basic tunes on a keyboard can stimulate your neural pathways in powerful ways. It doesn't matter if you ever become a virtuoso. The process of learning and practicing is what truly counts. What about puzzles, crosswords, Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles, or even strategic board games like chess can all give your brain a fantastic workout. These activities encourage critical thinking, pattern recognition, and problem solving, all while being enjoyable. Beyond structured activities, simply stepping outside your routine can be remarkably beneficial. Try taking a different route to the grocery store, cooking a new recipe that requires different steps, or engaging in conversations about topics you're not familiar with. Even reading a genre of book you usually avoid can challenge your perspective and stretch your mind. Another crucial aspect of maintaining cognitive health is social connection. Research consistently shows that individuals who maintain strong social ties and engage in regular conversations tend to have better cognitive function as they age. This isn't just about having friends. It's about active engagement, exchanging ideas, and sharing experiences. When you talk to others, you're constantly processing information, responding, and recalling memories, all of which keep your brain nimble. Furthermore, diet plays an undeniable role. Foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and B vitamins can significantly support brain health. Think about incorporating more colorful fruits and vegetables, oily fish like salmon, nuts, seeds, and whole grains into your diet. These nutrients provide the building blocks and protection your brain needs to function optimally. And don't underestimate the power of quality sleep. During sleep, your brain performs crucial cleanup and consolidation tasks, cementing memories and clearing out metabolic waste. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night is as important for your brain as any puzzle or new skill. So, the next time you misplace your reading glasses, instead of immediately thinking, "Oh, it's my age," try to reframe it. Our brains are incredibly resilient and adaptable. By embracing new challenges, staying socially connected, nourishing our bodies, and prioritizing rest, we can continue to learn, grow, and maintain a sharp, vibrant mind. Defying the myth that cognitive decline is our inevitable fate, this isn't about preventing every single slip-up. It's about nurturing a brain that remains curious, engaged, and capable of experiencing the richness of life now, with our bodies and minds feeling more capable than we thought possible. Let's tackle a deeply emotional myth that can isolate us from the very connections we need most. Now that we've explored how we can powerfully challenge the myths surrounding our physical and cognitive capabilities, let's turn our attention to a third, deeply ingrained myth that can cast a long shadow over our later years: the belief that older people are naturally destined for loneliness and isolation. This myth often suggests that as we age, our social circles inevitably shrink, friends move away or pass on, family gets busy with their own lives, and we're left with fewer opportunities for meaningful connection. It's a narrative that paints a rather bleak picture of quiet solitude, a feeling of being on the sidelines of life, no longer an active participant in a vibrant community. This belief can lead to a sense of resignation, making us less likely to reach out, less willing to try new social avenues, and ultimately, more prone to the very isolation we fear. We might tell ourselves, "Everyone's busy," or "It's harder to make new friends at my age." But here's the heartwarming truth. While our social dynamics may shift as we age, loneliness is not an inherent part of the aging process. Our capacity for connection, for forming new bonds, and for strengthening existing ones remains vibrant and essential. The secret to combating this myth lies in intentional engagement, a willingness to be proactive in cultivating relationships and embracing new opportunities for social interaction. Think of connection not as something that happens to you, but as something you actively build, like a beautiful garden. You wouldn't expect a garden to grow without tending to it. Right. Similarly, our social lives require cultivation. One of the most powerful things you can do is to redefine what connection means for you. It doesn't always have to be about grand social events or large groups. Meaningful connection can be found in small, consistent interactions. Consider reaching out to old friends or family members you haven't spoken to in a while. A simple phone call, a heartfelt email, or even a handwritten letter can rekindle dormant connections and remind you of the love and history you share. These gestures, often underestimated, can bring immense joy and a sense of belonging beyond rekindling. Actively seek out new communities and interests. What have you always wanted to try? A pottery class, a book club, a walking group, or even volunteering for a cause you care deeply about? These activities are not just about the skill or the cause. They are rich opportunities to meet like-minded individuals who share your passions. When you connect over a shared interest, conversations flow more easily, and friendships often blossom naturally. Perhaps you could join a local community center, a faith group, or even an online forum dedicated to a hobby. The internet, often seen as a barrier to real connection, can actually be a powerful tool for finding niche communities and connecting with people globally who share your interests. Another crucial aspect is being open to new types of connections. Sometimes, We get stuck on the idea that only deep, lifelong friendships count. But what about casual connections? Like striking up a conversation with your barista, your neighbor, or someone at the grocery store. These brief, positive interactions, sometimes called weak ties, contribute significantly to our sense of well-being and belonging. They create a feeling of being seen and acknowledged in the world. Consider becoming a mentor, sharing your wisdom and experience with someone younger. This not only builds a new relationship, but also gives you a profound sense of purpose and value. Or perhaps you could initiate something in your own community, start a neighborhood coffee morning, organize a local walking club, or even just invite a neighbor over for tea. The key is to be proactive and courageous in stepping out of your comfort zone, even just a little. Remember, true connection is a two-way street. It's about listening as much as it is about sharing, about being present, and showing genuine interest in others. When you approach social interactions with an open heart and a curious mind, you'll find that opportunities for connection are everywhere, waiting to be discovered. You are never too old to make a new friend, to deepen an existing bond, or to become an active, cherished member of a vibrant community. This isn't about filling a void. It's about enriching your life with the diverse tapestry of human connection that is available to you at any age. We are inherently social beings, and embracing this truth can lead to a much fuller, happier life. Moving forward, let's address another myth that often holds us back from living our fullest lives. The idea that we simply must slow down and rest more as we age. Building on the power of connection, let's confront a fourth insidious myth that quietly tells us to retreat and scale back the notion that, as we get older, we absolutely must slow down, pull back from our activities, and embrace a life of more rest and less doing. This myth often stems from a well-meaning, but ultimately limiting perspective that sees aging as a time for winding down, for disengaging from the busy world, and for prioritizing stillness above all else. We hear phrases like, "You've earned your rest," or "It's time to take it easy." And while rest is undoubtedly important, this myth pushes us towards an extreme of inactivity that can actually be detrimental to our well-being. It can lead to a sense of purposelessness, a feeling that our productive days are behind us, and that our contributions to the world are no longer needed. This belief can make us feel guilty for wanting to stay active, for pursuing new passions, or for continuing to engage with the world with enthusiasm. But here's the powerful counter-truth: while our energy levels may fluctuate and our bodies might need a different kind of care, a life filled with purpose, meaningful activity, and continued engagement is far more beneficial and fulfilling than one marked by forced idleness. The secret isn't about pushing ourselves beyond our limits, but about finding sustainable ways to stay engaged and find purpose. Proving that retirement from work doesn't have to mean retirement from life. Think of your life as a long, winding river. If the water stops flowing, it becomes stagnant. But if it keeps moving, even gently, it remains fresh, clear, and full of life. The same applies to us. One of the most critical elements in combating this myth is discovering or rediscovering your sense of purpose. This isn't about finding a grand, world-changing mission, though it certainly can be. It's about identifying what truly brings meaning and joy to your days, what makes you feel alive and valuable. Perhaps it's a long-held hobby you put on the back burner during your working years: gardening, painting, playing music, writing. Now is the perfect time to dive back into these passions with renewed vigor. These activities provide mental stimulation, a sense of accomplishment, and a wonderful way to express yourself. For others, purpose might come from learning something entirely new. Have you always wanted to learn about history, astronomy, or a new craft? Online courses, local workshops, or even library resources offer endless opportunities for intellectual growth and personal enrichment. The act of learning keeps your mind active, introduces you to new ideas, and often connects you with others who share similar interests. Volunteering is another incredibly potent antidote to the slow-down myth. Giving your time and skills to a cause you care about not only benefits the community, but also provides you with an immense sense of purpose, satisfaction, and, often, a new social circle. Whether it's reading to children, helping at an animal shelter, assisting at a local hospital, or contributing to an environmental project, the act of serving others reminds us of our own capabilities and worth. It shifts focus from self to contribution, which is incredibly empowering, even within your own family. Finding purpose can be deeply rewarding. Perhaps you can spend more quality time with grandchildren, sharing your stories, wisdom, and life experiences. Becoming a family historian or mentor can provide an invaluable role that is deeply cherished. The key is to avoid the trap of simply existing from day to day. It's about actively seeking out activities that energize you, that give you a reason to get up in the morning, and that make you feel like you are still growing and contributing. This isn't about being busy for the sake of being busy. It's about intentional engagement that nourishes your soul and keeps your spirit vibrant. Remember, true rest comes from a sense of fulfillment and balance, not from endless inactivity. It's about choosing how you spend your energy, not conserving it to the point of stagnation. Embracing purpose and active engagement keeps our lives rich, meaningful, and full of ongoing discovery. It reminds us that our story is still being written, and we are the authors of its most exciting chapters. Now, let's explore a couple more crucial myths, beginning with one that affects our very daily sustenance and how we view food, building on the idea of purposeful living. Let's now tackle a fifth myth that often complicates one of life's most fundamental pleasures and necessities: the belief that healthy eating becomes overly complicated or less important as you age. This myth often suggests that our bodies suddenly become intolerant to a wide range of foods, or that we need a battery of special supplements and restrictive diets just to stay healthy. It can lead to confusion, frustration, and even a loss of enjoyment in preparing and consuming meals. We might hear advice that sounds daunting, or feel overwhelmed by conflicting information, leading us to either give up on healthy eating altogether or to become overly anxious about every mouthful. This myth paints a picture where food becomes a source of worry rather than nourishment and pleasure. But here's the liberating truth. Healthy eating in your later years isn't about deprivation or complexity. It's about simplification, listening to your body, and focusing on nutrient-dense, whole foods that support your vitality. The secret isn't in chasing fads or overly strict rules, but in returning to the basics of good, wholesome nutrition that fuels your body and mind with ease and enjoyment. Think of your body as a high-performance vehicle that needs the right kind of fuel to run smoothly. You wouldn't put low-grade fuel in a luxury car, would you similarly? Our aging bodies, with their specific needs, thrive on quality nutrients. One of the most powerful things you can do is focus on whole, unprocessed foods. This means leaning into fresh fruits and vegetables, which are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect your cells and support overall health. Think vibrant berries, leafy greens like spinach and kale, crunchy bell peppers, and juicy oranges. These foods provide natural energy, support your immune system, and can even help with inflammation. Another cornerstone is lean protein. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes even more critical. And protein is the building block for muscles. Incorporate sources like chicken, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, and Greek yogurt into your daily meals. These don't just help preserve muscle, they also keep you feeling fuller for longer, which can help manage weight and energy levels. Don't forget healthy fats, which are essential for brain health, hormone production, and nutrient absorption. Avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil are wonderful sources. And whole grains, like oats, brown rice, and whole wheat bread, provide sustained energy and fiber, which is crucial for digestive health. Speaking of digestion, a common concern as we age, fiber is your best friend. It helps keep things moving smoothly and can prevent constipation, a discomfort many experience. Load up on fiber-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Also, hydration is often overlooked but profoundly important. Our sense of thirst can diminish with age, making dehydration a real risk. Make a conscious effort to drink plenty of water throughout the day. Herbal teas or naturally infused water with cucumber or lemon can make it more enjoyable. This isn't about counting calories obsessively or eliminating entire food groups. It's about making simple, consistent choices that nourish you from the inside out. It's about enjoying your meals, savoring flavors, and understanding that what you put into your body directly impacts how you feel, how much energy you have, and how resilient your system is. Preparing meals at home, even simple ones, gives you control over ingredients and can be a wonderfully therapeutic activity. And don't be afraid to experiment with new recipes or spices. Healthy eating can be an adventure by embracing this simple, whole food approach. You're not just eating for health, you're eating for vitality, energy, and a continued love affair with food. You're proving that healthy aging isn't restrictive. It's empowering. And finally, let's tackle the last myth, one that often brings with it a significant amount of discomfort and frustration. And now, for the sixth and final myth, one that often brings with it a sense of resignation and discomfort, the idea that joint pain, stiffness, and reduced mobility are an unavoidable and inevitable part of getting old. How many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, my knees just aren't what they used to be," or "It's just old age catching up with me," as they struggle with stiffness after sitting for a while, or wince with every step? This myth suggests that as our bodies age, our joints are simply destined to wear out, like old machinery, leaving us with chronic aches and a diminishing ability to move freely and comfortably. It can lead to a fear of movement, a tendency to avoid activities that might cause pain, and ultimately, a more sedentary lifestyle that paradoxically worsens the very problem it's trying to avoid. This belief can truly limit our lives, making simple joys like walking with friends, playing with grandchildren, or tending to a garden feel like monumental efforts. But here's the incredibly hopeful and empowering truth. While some joint changes are a natural part of aging, debilitating pain and severe stiffness are not a guaranteed sentence for everyone. Much of the discomfort we attribute solely to age can be significantly managed, reduced, and even prevented through specific strategies that support joint health and mobility. The secret isn't in giving up on movement. It's in embracing the right kind of movement and focusing on comprehensive joint care. Think of your joints like well-oiled hinges. If you don't use them, they can rust and seize up. If you use them improperly or excessively without care, they can wear down. But if you keep them moving gently, lubricated, and supported, they can function smoothly for a very long time. One of the most critical steps in defying this myth is to understand that movement is medicine for your joints. Gentle, consistent movement helps to circulate the synovial fluid that lubricates your joints, bringing nutrients to the cartilage and removing waste products. Activities like walking, swimming, cycling even on a stationary bike, and Tai Chi are excellent low-impact options. They allow your joints to move through their full range of motion without putting excessive stress on them. Even simple daily stretches, like gently rotating your ankles, knees, or shoulders, can make a huge difference in reducing stiffness. It's not about pushing through pain, but about finding a comfortable range of motion and gradually increasing it as your body allows. Listen to your body. It will tell you what feels good and what needs more caution. Beyond movement, strengthening the muscles around your joints provides crucial support and stability. For instance, strengthening your quadriceps and hamstrings can take pressure off your knees, and strong core muscles can support your back and hips. Again, this doesn't mean heavy lifting. Simple bodyweight exercises or light resistance training, as we discussed earlier, can be incredibly effective. Consider incorporating exercises that improve your posture, as good alignment can significantly reduce strain on your joints. Many people find relief through gentle yoga or Pilates, which focus on strengthening core muscles, improving flexibility, and promoting proper body mechanics. Nutrition also plays a significant role in managing inflammation, which is a major contributor to joint pain. An anti-inflammatory diet, rich in omega-3 fatty acids found in oily fish, flax seeds, walnuts, antioxidants from colorful fruits and vegetables, and turmeric, can help reduce systemic inflammation throughout your body, including in your joints. Limiting processed foods, sugary drinks, and excessive red meat can also make a noticeable difference. And finally, managing your weight is profoundly important for joint health. Every extra pound of body weight puts additional stress on your weight-bearing joints, especially your knees and hips. Even a modest weight loss can lead to significant improvements in joint comfort and mobility. Don't forget the importance of quality sleep, as it allows your body to repair and regenerate, including your joint tissues. Also, adequate hydration ensures your cartilage remains pliable. So, the next time you feel a twinge, instead of resigning yourself to old age, consider what small, gentle movements you can incorporate, what anti-inflammatory foods you can add to your plate, or what simple exercises might support those hard-working joints. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and action, realizing that you have far more control over your joint health than you might have imagined. You can continue to move with greater ease, comfort, and freedom, living a life that isn't restricted by stiffness, but expanded by mobility. So, there you have it, 6 pervasive aging myths that often make us feel older, more limited, and less capable than we truly are. We've unmasked the idea that physical decline is inevitable, revealing the power of gentle strength and consistent movement to keep our bodies vibrant. We've challenged the myth of cognitive decline, embracing the brain's amazing neuroplasticity through lifelong learning and mental engagement. We've seen that loneliness is not a given, but rather that our capacity for connection, for making new friends and deepening old bonds, remains alive and well. We've rejected the notion that we must simply slow down, understanding that purpose and active engagement are the true antidotes to stagnation. We've simplified the idea of healthy eating, reminding ourselves that wholesome, nutrient-dense foods are the key to sustained energy and well-being. And finally, we've tackled the myth of inevitable joint pain, realizing that movement, muscle support, and anti-inflammatory nutrition can bring significant comfort and mobility. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are powerful truths that can transform your daily experience. Remember, small, consistent changes truly do make a monumental difference to your health, your happiness, and your overall quality of life. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Pick one myth that resonated most with you today, and choose one small, actionable step you can take this week to challenge it. Perhaps it's a 10-minute walk every day, or trying a new puzzle, or reaching out to an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Every little bit adds up, creating a ripple effect of vitality and well-being. Your age is simply a number, but your approach to living, your mindset, and your daily habits are what truly define your experience. You have the power to write a new narrative for your later years, one filled with energy, curiosity, connection, and joy. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these myths surprised you the most? What's one small change you're inspired to make after watching this video? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey of empowerment. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you want more practical advice and uplifting content to help you live your absolute best life at every age, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Remember, your golden years are meant to be some of the most vibrant and fulfilling of your life. Go out there and live your best life at every age. You truly deserve it.